all, Stephanie here with Minimalist Mom Life. Welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I've made a video, and that hasn't been intentional and like wanting to not make videos, just deciding when the house was quiet enough and I wasn't going to be interrupted to make them has had me on pause. And actually the video that I thought I would make now is not the one I'm going to make, because I was going to do one about debt-free living, something alongside budgeting, but I really want to share this, and this is going to be a quick video, so I'm going to do this one first. And that is what crazy thing I did over the weekend. So a lot of y'all have probably heard, if you follow like Minimalist account, like the Minimalist or Minimal Mom, them reference a professional organizer saying that the average American household has 300,000 things. And so I think I've even used that in an Instagram post before to be like, if you have a third of what the average person has, so according to this, then you still have 100,000 things. Like, that's a lot of stuff. So I recently heard someone kind of debunk that and say, no, that was just an organizer giving like an estimate on what she was guessing the average household had, that she was like cleaning and organizing. And I think the organizer was even like in LA. So, you know, a more affluent area. Anyways. Recently, a couple weeks ago, I saw a YouTube channel called, I think it's Light in Mind, and I had not watched her videos before, but I saw one and I watched it, and she had counted up what was in her house. And they are a family of 6, younger kids than mine, but a sweet little family of 6. And I think that she said her number was around 1,500 once she had counted everything. And y'all know that I love statistics, and I love numbers, I love budget stuff. I did a gatekeeper challenge that I posted on here about, where I tracked everything that came in and went out of our house for a year to see just how much we were consumers, and just the fascinating thing to me of like how much stuff goes in versus out when you live simply. So when I heard her number, I was like, I am so fascinated. They were definitely more minimal than we are. And I wasn't counting to hope for a certain number or anything. I was just very fascinated. But then I was like, that would take way too long. And one day I went into one of our bathrooms and I thought, well, maybe I'll just like count one area a day. Because she did it like by category, by like how many clothes, how many toys. And I thought, no, I'm just going to do it by room in the house, and then, you know, tally that all up. I went to do it in the bathroom one day and I thought, this is overwhelming. I'm not going to do it. But then over the weekend, I took a very quiet weekend to celebrate Easter, and had some time, and I was like, it was just me and some of the kids in the house, and the kids were gone. Jason was gone doing pastor stuff. And I thought, well, I'll just count the laundry room and I'll start there. And I did. And I wish I had checked what time I started, but it was definitely under 2 hours. And that was with me, you know, stopping to be a mom and feed kids lunch. And I had to make a lot of notes of like, what did I just look in? Where am I at in my counting? I counted up my entire house. And not just the inside of the house. I counted what's in our shed, what is in our backyard. And we have a front little like kind of closet shed thing that's outside. I counted everything in there. Now, when I say I counted everything, I counted even the food, the spices. But like when I counted paper, it was like colored paper, one thing of colored paper counts as one. It's not like there's 50 sheets, so I'm counting 50 sheets, right? But I'm counting that there's colored paper, there is lined paper, and then blank white paper would be 3 different things of paper. If it was a box of Legos, I counted it as one box of Legos. But if there were 8 apples in the fridge, I didn't say there's apples, that's one thing. I counted 8 apples. I counted every roll of toilet paper, every bar of soap, every like extra light bulb. When I went out to the shed, that was definitely a harder area because there's just tools kind of everywhere. But I would count by like each toolbox, accounting for it to have like 30 to 40 things in it. And so I counted that way. I did not open up the safe and count like ammo and guns. I just gave an estimate and asked my husband if he thought that was about right. But otherwise, I mean, I counted every last little thing, and it did not take long at all. Like, I was shocked how quickly it went. And is there anything else I want? I'm looking at the sheet that tells you. Well, I'll tell you per room. So we are a family of 7. If you don't know, we live in a 1,200 square foot house. And I think I would say I've been minimal basically my whole adult life, and I'm 35. So in our living room, there were 138 things. That's almost entirely books. In the bathroom off of the laundry room, there were 66 things. In the bathroom that we mostly use, there was 173. A lot of that is pull-ups and toilet paper. In our laundry room, there were 27. In our dining room, there were 112. And if you have watched our house tour, in our dining room is like our school cabinet, and then a cabinet next to the fridge that has like the vacuum and the brooms. And so I counted that as a dining room, but then the fridge on is the kitchen. So dining room is 112. Most of that's homeschool stuff. And like on the dining room for the homeschool stuff, when I had the box of crayons and markers, I counted that as one. And the container of pens and pencils, I counted that as one. So I did not count individually, like we have 30 pens and pencils or, 200 crayons. In our kitchen, we had 688 things. My boys' room that has 3 boys in it, we had 437. In Lucy and my little guy's room, we had 293 things. In our room, Jason and I's room, we had 368. In storage, the front little storage, 150, and most of that was fishing stuff. And we have a box of Christmas decorations, and I was counting like how many ornaments we have, but not individual, each little light. Like it was just a light strand that counts as one. Outdoors, just things to play with in the backyard, like wreaths and mats, was 52. Shed was 171. Linen closet was 35, and the coat closet was 16. And so that brings our grand total to 2,726. I did not count clothing that we had on, and I do think there was a load of laundry in the dryer. So you could add, 40 more things and put us close to 2,800. I counted also for some of my criteria, because I'm always fascinated in that when people give statistics, is if we were to be moving and we would be responsible for it, then it counted as something that needed to be counted. So that's why I counted all of the food, every little piece of paper decor on the wall, every picture that George has drawn and put on his wall, because that would all be something that we would have to move, we'd be responsible for. I did not count like the refrigerator because it doesn't belong to us, like stuff like that, or like the water heater. But so yeah, around 2,800 things if you're bumping up for the clothes that we were wearing and the little bit that was in the dryer. This was very fascinating to me. I really left that number thinking, my house is easy to take care of. Like I should never, this would be easy to move. This would be easy to take care of. This is really not a lot. And it also led me to thinking about how probably ridiculous that $300,000 item estimate is. Because even if you did count every single piece of cereal in the cereal box and every single piece of pasta in the pasta box, and every single crayon, it still wouldn't have been anywhere even near, 30,000. So anyways, that was fascinating to me. I know for a lot of you, that's probably like, you're crazy. Why would you take the time to do it? And honestly, if it was going to take days, I would not have done it. But again, even with shopping to be a mom, I think it was maybe an hour to 2 hours. Like it just was not actually that amount of time. Count by twos makes it easier. And that's the crazy thing I did this weekend. Tell me if you've ever counted up what is in your home. I think a lot of us actually, if you were counting, have less than we think that we have. And also counting up that number, I thought we also are not in need of anything else. So very grateful for our home. That's our number. I'm crazy for counting, but it was fun. And I'll talk to you next time.